Hello everyone, I'm George. Me and Joshua is going to present our neighborhood project, Downtown Brooklyn.
These are the topics that we are going to cover.
Talking about downtown Brooklyn's history, it was originally called Renegakunk. The Dutch arrived and changed the name to Brooklyn. The area was mainly used for farm purpose and remained sparsely populated until 1814. New steam ferry starts to provide easy transport between downtown Manhattan and downtown Brooklyn. After the Second World War, the City Planning Commission presented a master plan for downtown Brooklyn. Downtown Brooklyn was mainly a commercial and civic center. It was sparsely populated until the rezoning of parts of downtown Brooklyn in 2004, which allows for denser residential development. New apartments, houses, and offices were built. The residents increased from around 1,000 to 35,000. Now, downtown Brooklyn is the third largest central business district in New York City.
So, about the demography, Brooklyn is home to almost 2.6 million residents, and if it were an independent city, it would be the fourth largest city in the States. Downtown Brooklyn is the heart of Brooklyn, and it is known for its offices and residential buildings. Since rezoning in 2004, there was a 24% increase in population from 41,000 to 51,000. And from 2000 to 2013, the population grew by 17%, and the number of adults increased by 29%, with a 99% increase in highest education and a 22% increase in income. There is 49.6% white people, 20.2% Hispanic, 15.6% Black, and 8.9% of Asians. And to make a more diverse community, Downtown Brooklyn has made a lot of efforts to do its best. Many public signs and stickers have been designed with different languages, as seen in this image. So, for geography, downtown Brooklyn is located in the northwestern part of the borough. It is bounded by the East River. And in addition to the proper downtown area, when talked about downtown Brooklyn, it generally includes additional districts such as Dumbo and sections of Fort Greene and Brooklyn Heights. The north and west of the neighborhood are bounded by the East River, which the river spans from the upper New York Bay to Long Island South, as seen in this following image here. To fight against Silicon Valley, the downtown area connected with Dumbo and Navy Yard is known as the Brooklyn Tech Triangle, which is home to 1,300 tech firms and has over 20,000 employees. This is also shown in the diagram. The three circles are the three places as I just mentioned. In 2015, the triangle's annual economic impact was $5.3 billion, and it was expected to triple the amount in 10 years. In addition, there will be 18,000 more jobs, and also by 2025, there will be 53,000 employees. So, zoning and land use. The Department of City Planning certified the ULURP in 2003 December. It was a 10-year plan, and the plan was built. A lot of buildings from the plan was built upon the floor area ratio policies, which meant that the total building floor area over the gross lot area. And this is the plan. The plan had many impacts. As as seen, the J Street area C64 contains three schools, two colleges, and a high school. The plan imposed an increase of floor area ratio from 6 to 10. This may allow schools to expand on their academic facilities and develop more office revenue producing buildings within their campuses. Also, the orange area shows the center of downtown Brooklyn. The plan enforced an increase of floor area ratio from 6 to 12, which the area was mostly used for commercial and community buildings. The plan also projected that in 10 years there will be a construction of 4.6 million square feet of office space, and 850,000 square feet of retail space, an additional 1,000 housing units. However, as of 2021 now, the office and community facilities areas fell short, and residential units had surpassed the projections. Plans were adjusted to accommodate more needs from the residents working in this area. Not just for buildings, many public spaces such as Willoughby Square was built to create an attractive environment for workers, visitors, or residents. There were also multiple proposed changes to street maps to create more viable development sites and improve traffic flows. Actions included closing off low volume streets and also extending and widening streets. So I have previously mentioned that the construction of residential buildings had surpassed the initial projection from the zoning plans. Specifically, more than 70 development projects or 14,000 new housing units were delivered since 2004, and two-thirds of these new units were built from the past 5 years. My second point is affordable housing played a big role in these housing projects. More than 2,600 units were built for it, and as seen from the graph here, shows how affordable housing is distributed among the different income levels, and the majority of the people living in affordable housing is the low income group, which has a 51 to 80% average median income. Some key projects include 80 Flatbush and 90 cents. My third point is that the current median sales price in downtown Brooklyn is $705,000. And because of this high housing price, there is a lot of rental housing. As previously mentioned, that 9,100 units were built, 8,500 of those units were for rental. Owners report that tenants are drawn to the benefit of the proximity to Lower Manhattan and the good rent there is in Brooklyn. So, for transportation, there are a total of 9 stations in downtown Brooklyn. They include Metro Lines FAC 23R 45 and Q. The first subway line in downtown Brooklyn was the Borough Hall that was built on April 5th, 1919. The station was connected to Lower Manhattan through an underground link through the lines 4 and 5. Being one of the oldest subway systems, there has been a lot of adjustments to the subway. Stations were combined, stations were also abandoned. In addition, there are also bus lines and city bike services around the area, and there are two bridges, the Manhattan and the Brooklyn Bridge, which are both pedestrian and car friendly. So traffic is a big problem in downtown Brooklyn. As a result, the Brooklyn Common project was developed. Goals were to establish a more equitable balance of streets for bicycle, pedestrians, motorists.
As one part of New York City, downtown Brooklyn's economy develops as with New York City's economy. The city is facing the issue of office space shortage. The graph shows the problem of NYC. While the New York City's Class A office space inventory barely grew, New Jersey's Hudson River waterfront development grew tremendously. The growth of New Jersey makes it a great competitor to NYC's economy. In order to improve New York City's competitive position in the region, a strategy is made for growth of its central business district, which includes these four areas. Downtown Brooklyn is a key portion of the strategy for growth by providing an affordable choice for businesses and a competitive alternative to New Jersey. Downtown Brooklyn has four main issues which it needs to address at the time. Firstly, the zoning and lack of adequate development sites in the area is limiting opportunities for downtown Brooklyn's growth. Secondly, downtown core is isolated from surrounding strong residential communities, Thirdly, its four-streetscape experience limits desirability as a business and residential destination. Last issue is that downtown Brooklyn has not tapped into a vast cultural and educational resources. The plan for improving downtown Brooklyn's economy and solving the above four problems include rezoning, creating public spaces, improving public transit, retail support, and so on. The plan would also act as a catalyst for economic development. A closer look at some of Brooklyn's neighborhoods reveals that decades of legacy pollution, which is chemicals that remain in an environment long after they are first released, is hazardous to the communities. Particularly low-income residents are in danger because they are mostly forced to move to locations for industries and obstructive infrastructure, therefore experiencing higher levels of pollution. Looking at the map, even though downtown Brooklyn has less toxic sites than Manhattan, its number of toxic sites is still not small. The COVID-19 hit downtown Brooklyn hard. During the COVID-19 pandemic, 10 of the 16 buildings that are on the block have been demolished. According to StreetEasy's November 2020 market report, Brooklyn's average rents dropped by 6.3% since last year to $2,400. Brooklyn's historic central business district also suffered during the pandemic, but the area's boosters and developers believe its location, open spaces, and large residential population could give it a leg up over Manhattan as the post-pandemic recovery finally begins. Downtown Brooklyn's retailers have fared much better than in other places because it's a mixed-use area that doesn't just rely on office workers. There are continued presence of anchor retailers like Trader Joe's and Target. Dichotomy between the experience of Manhattan and downtown Brooklyn during the pandemic may offer clues about what happens after the pandemic ends. The most recent community board meeting, which was recorded on YouTube, was on April 29th. It is a special meeting for Planning Together, which is a combination of report and the legislative proposal in order to implement a new comprehensive planning process for the framework of the City of New York. Annie Livers, who is the Assistant Deputy Director of the New York City Council Office of Strategic Initiatives, was the presenter and introduced the Planning Together bill and wanted to have thoughts and feedbacks from the listeners. The first thing I'd like to talk about downtown Brooklyn is the situation with COVID-19. Even though there is news about downtown Brooklyn's blocks being torn down because of the pandemic, I believe that downtown Brooklyn will recover after the pandemic ends. The different style of economy of downtown Brooklyn makes it unique from others. After the pandemic, other cities may want clues from downtown Brooklyn's COVID-19 experience in order to improve their economic development. Looking at downtown Brooklyn's economy and its COVID-19 situation, downtown Brooklyn will not get worse and it has its strategies to further improve. Downtown Brooklyn's environment is also a problem which it needs to focus on. However, I think that dealing with the issues which are created by the pandemic should be put to the first place. Environmental problems are permanent problems for the world. For now, there are no plans which can completely solve the problem. On the other hand, the COVID-19 pandemic is an unexpected event which happens in these years. It should be the first thing to be solved.
So, in conclusion, I would like to talk about 3 points. For housing, as mentioned before, according to the 2020 housing prices, the prices had fallen 9% from the previous year. COVID has been a real big factor for this. Rents had also fallen. This would recover as soon as the situation gets better and as more people would be confident in getting back into the economy. And the second point is, as downtown Brooklyn continues to mature, there would be a shift from building rental apartments to condos. As of 2019 January, the number of condos that are currently under construction is more than double of the number of rental units. The third point is the Brooklyn Tech Triangle. It is going to become home to more companies in the near future and will create great revenue and be one of the shining spots for Brooklyn in the future. So these are our citations, and thank you.